Good morning, I'm Wendy Petrie and this is your morning news fix for Friday the 16th of January. In this update, severe thunderstorms have been battering much of the upper and central North Island overnight. Met Service has been issuing a string of severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the night, forecasting very heavy rain and, in some cases, frequent lightning. It's been warning of potential surface and flash flooding, hazardous driving conditions and power surges. Severe thunderstorm watches have been issued for Waikato till 7 a.m. and Gisborne and Hawke's Bay until 11. A heavy rain warning remains in place for Bay of Plenty and Rotorua, also until 11 a.m. How deeply Scott Robertson's departure wounds the All Blacks inevitably hinges on next year's World Cup performance. New Zealand Rugby has confirmed Razor's resignation as coach 2 years into a 4-year contract. Player frustration has been brewing during his tenure, but seemingly came to a head with a scathing internal review late last year. Peed PR partner Jack Wheeler says the All Blacks' brand is built on winning and the reputational damage could boil down to future results.
This decision to remove Scott Robertson will either be looked upon as a stroke of genius or one of the biggest mistakes in recent memory.
The victims of a late-night train attack by 30 Auckland teenagers say they've had minimal contact from officials and are still suffering months on. 3 women and a man in their early 20s were jumped at Morningside Station on Halloween last year. Emily Ansell reports.
The man says he was king-hit and the women pulled off the train by their hair, one suffering a deep cut on her hand from a wine bottle. 3 were concussed, with one woman still going to the concussion clinic suffering severe headaches and even collapsing. Auckland Transport say they shared investigation findings with the victims in November, finding staff took every step to intervene.
Wellington's Central Library is officially reopening, but with 80,000 fewer books on the shelves. It's undergone a $217 million renovation job, with its collection having to be reduced to 370,000 books since closing almost 7 years ago. Council spokesperson says the books have been given away, sold or destroyed. He says key priorities were attention for materials from Wellingtonians, New Zealand and the South Pacific, with a special awareness of Māori and Māori authors. The World Trade Organization may soon be dead in the water, aided by Donald Trump's frenzied start to the year. The US president has abruptly pulled out of 66 global institutions, signalling the collapse of the international rules-based order. Auckland University law professor Jane Kelsey says the US is playing by its own rules. She says New Zealand's been an exemplary player in the global trade system, sometimes to our detriment.
We need to be able to open up the debate and not simply hunker down to try to rescue something that's failing.
To sport, and New Zealand rugby chair David Kirk expects Ardie Savea to play for the All Blacks this year. The side's vice-captain had reportedly been dissatisfied with the environment, formerly led by departing coach Scott Robertson. Severe thunderstorms have been kept quarter-final play to a minimum at the ASB Tennis Classic. Marco Schiron is the only player through to the last 4. And golfer Daniel Hillier is tied for 9th after carding a 2-under par 69 in the first round of the Dubai Invitational on the European Tour. He's 3 strokes behind leader Rory McIlroy. I'm Wendy Petrie. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at midday from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.